Welcome back to Coach's Corner West. We're at the Pizza Hut here in Bucyrus on this Monday evening, January 3rd. I'm your host, Mike Sparks, and it's the Buckeye Central portion of tonight's show. We're brought to you in part by Rob Lust at Ashfield Animal Clinic in Marion, Matt Ramsey, John Zidler, Drew Young, and Frank Heinlein and Associates at Bucyrus Lanes, serving worldwide markets since 1951. Roger Brown, Wings, Lock and Safe, South Poplar, West Warren in Bucyrus. And to the microphone we go, and it's assistant girls basketball coach from Buckeye Central High School, Tyler Shea. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So we talked before the air, then you played at Buckeye Central and graduated in 2010. How many years coaching now at Buckeye Central at your alma mater?
This is my third year.
Third year. As being a graduate and a boys player, what got you into helping out the girls team?
Head coach Kate. We went to high school together, and he needed an assistant and a JV coach, and so here we are. 3 years later, we're still at it.
What's been your biggest growth of those 3 years of coaching? Because let's face it, you look at the game as a player one way, but you have to look at it differently as a coach. Where has your growth come from?
I think it's seeing everything that goes in behind the scenes. You know, as a player, you kind of show up at practice, you go through the scouting report, watch film, and that's about the end of it. Coaching is 24/7. It's on your mind, whether it's watching film or scouting or just thinking about it, or during the work day when you're supposed to be working, and trying to put together a game plan and seeing everything, like I said, that goes in behind the scenes.
I was doing a little snooping around today and looked back at when Coach Moore took the team to the state finals a couple of years back, and Coach Cable took over. And as I was looking at the records, I'm thinking, goodness, this guy doesn't lose a lot of games. What is it about coaching with him that just makes it special, makes it fun, makes it a great learning experience?
Well, for me personally, like I said, we grew up together, so it's kind of neat that we've been good friends our whole lives. But to see what he does on a day in and day out basis with the intensity, what he puts into it, what he requires of the girls, it's just a testament to him and his dedication. And the direction the program's going is a lot on him and what he's doing with it.
So you're sitting in a pretty good spot right now, 10-0 overall, 6-0 in the Northern 10 Conference, and looking back at your last two games last Tuesday, you get a really unique experience to go up to a beautiful facility in Sandusky at the Cedar Point facility to play Old Fort in an event called the Jingle Bell Jam. I think this is the first year they've had it.
Yes, this is the first one.
Before we get into the game specifically, how did you like that format? And do you enjoy, and I'll ask the Siesel girls here the same question, enjoy that kind of an atmosphere, tournament type thing during holidays? Do you enjoy that, or would you rather have more of a traditional game?
No, I thought it was awesome going up there. It's like you said, it's a beautiful facility. There were 7 games up there, some of the premier teams from across the northern half of the state of Ohio. And we told our girls, it's an honor just to be invited to that. And to get to play a team in Old Fort that has a really special player at point guard and is a really solid program, but it's somebody that we don't see every year. So it's somebody different than playing the Bucyrus, the Winfords and Crawfords. And then, like you said, getting a chance to play a quality opponent on a neutral site like that is only going to benefit us here in March.
Yeah, for sure. You won the game 38-35. The Lady Stockaders led 11-8 after the first quarter. You outscored them 12-9 in the second to knock the score at halftime. What was the message to the girls at halftime, knowing that Old Fort was good, but knowing also the success you've had this year, that this is a little out of our comfort zone?
Yeah, we didn't really play our brand of basketball. We had a couple girls in foul trouble early, so we were fighting that the whole game. We've got a lot of really nice shooters that we like, but shots weren't falling. But it was good to see, like you said, we were down most of that game. I don't think we really got our first lead until about 1:20 left. And that's really the first adversity we've seen this year. So to see us be able to battle through that and come back and get a win, that was a district final, regional semifinal feel to that game. So it was good to see some adversity and see us come through.
Old Fort regains the lead after the third quarter, 29-26, but the Buckeyes pull away and win the fourth quarter, 12-6. So you didn't shoot particularly well, 12 of 41 or 29% from the field, 4 of 20 or 20% from the three-point arc. A little better at the free throw line, 10 of 16 for 63%, but you won the turnover battle 20-11.
Yeah, and that's something we really pride ourselves in. It starts right here with Emily, is what we can do on the defensive end, and as far as we call it, heating teams up and forcing those turnovers and getting easy runouts, because there are going to be those nights and those stretches that we're in one where the shots just aren't falling.
As you mentioned, Emily led you guys with 22 points. Her sister Kate also with us tonight with 5 points. Kennedy Deppen, 4 points. Sydney Warren, 3 points each. And at Maddie Gilmore and Jason Woodall, 11 points each for the Stockade. That's a quality team, isn't it?
It is. They're a phenomenal team. They're well coached. Macy Miller's one of the better overall players we'll see this year. We contained her, and that was our plan. We weren't going to let her beat us, and we were going to make the role players make shots, and they did. So credit to them. They played well.
A couple nights later, you go over to Bucyrus, a team that's struggling, but a lot of people would say a lot more competitive than they have been. With a brand new coach and Brian Seibert, and they're doing much better, even though their record may not show it. You win convincingly 58-34. You got off to a nice start on 21-8 after the first quarter, 46-17 at half, and you outscored, or Bucyrus outscored you 14-2 in the final frame. But I'm sure you got a lot of young girls in for some valuable minutes.
Yeah, that's a game that, on paper, maybe a mismatch, but Bucyrus is night and day from what they were last year. And that program is heading definitely in the right direction. But that's still a game that you've got to get up for. And that's still a challenge for our girls. And we have to have the mindset that we can't sleepwalk through anything, and we're going to get everybody's best shot.
Maybe shot just a little bit better in that game, 38%, 21-55, 18% behind the arc, just 3 of 17, but much better at the free throw line, 13 of 15, or 87%. What do you think has been kind of causing this cold streak of shooting from the floor?
I really don't have a good answer for you. Everybody's going to go through these stretches, and we're just in one of those. But like I said, we've got 5 or 6 girls that we're very confident anytime the ball leaves their hands. So that's been a focus in practice here the past 3 days, and it's going to be a big part for us tomorrow night.
Emily again leads the team with 32 points, Kennedy Devlin with 8, Riley Concert with 6, and Bucyrus put 2 in double figures, Maddie Kimball with 11, and Emma Tyrell with 15 points. So we'll take a break here and talk to the Siesel sisters here in just a moment. We're brought to you in part by Lee Kleinman, Brad Seibert of the Pioneer Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Gallion, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus, and Upper Sandusky, North Central State College Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus. Take the microphone from you there, and we'll go to the senior first, Emily Siesel, and thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
You bet. You are a walking stat line, and I've listened to some of the games that we've had on the radio, and even our own announcers have been just kind of flabbergasted by the things that you've been able to do. You're leading the league in kind of scoring at 21.5 points per game, second in assists at 4.1 assists per game, first in steals at an astounding 8.1 steals per game, and second in shooting percentage at 54%, 81-150. And with all of that, on top of the pressure of being 8-0, 10-0, how do you handle the pressure and stay humble and stay hungry?
I guess our coaches do a really good job. Every day in practice, there's never an easy day. So just getting those reps in practice and just staying focused that we're not done, we have bigger goals in the end, really keeps us all focused.
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of ask you the same question I asked Coach Shea. Did you like that neutral site kind of atmosphere? A lot of good teams there, but it's not a court you're familiar with. It's certainly not your home court. It's not one that you've been to. It's kind of an open venue. Did that hurt your shooting, do you think, as a team?
Yeah, I guess I've played there before. I played a couple AAU events there.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But as a team, and we played an event, shootout in the summer there. But as a team, it definitely was a different environment, and that might have been part of the reason. But still shooting a lot in practice, which will help.
Yeah, you got through it. You have a big one coming up tomorrow at Shelby, a team that Coach Natalie Lance has a really nice group. If it's, Coach talked about that one being kind of like a district tournament or a regional semi. I got to believe tomorrow's going to be every bit of that. It's got to be a jam-packed crowd. And what's going to be neat about that is I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people that are going to be there that don't root for Buckeye Central or for Shelby. They just want to see a great basketball game. How, have you thought about that in that environment? Or do you think about those kind of things, or do you just say, I'm locked in and I got to do the job that I'm asked to do?
Yeah, so definitely, like Coach Capel mentioned today, it's going to be really packed, and we just have to stay focused and know what our role is and get the job done.
Yeah, good luck. Enjoy that atmosphere. Continued success, and both you personally and you as a team.
Thank you.
You bet. Next up is Sister Kate Siesel, a junior. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Are you satisfied where you're at right now? I mean, you're an unblemished record. You have no losses. You boat racing most teams. Are you satisfied?
No, we can't be satisfied because we have a lot more games. We need to continue to get better.
Where do you need to get better? you personally and you guys as a team, where do you guys both need to get better?
Like being more consistent, and for me, it's my defense needs to get better. Yeah.
What part of it specifically?
Just like guarding someone like one-on-one.
Okay. And do you, I'm leading the witness here. Yeah, you have to have some talent, but defense to me seems like a want-to.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like putting the ball in the basket or going to the rack necessarily. You just have to be able to move your feet. Yeah, you got to have some skill. What's the biggest thing you've been focusing on to increase that defense, to get better, to get stronger at it?
We do like a lot of like one-on-one drills during practice, so those help a lot. And just like the coaches like telling me like what to do kind of helps a lot.
Yeah. Do you like playing in these big game atmospheres? I mean, you had one against Old Fort, you got one coming up, you got Perkins on the schedule still, you got Bellevue on the schedule still. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I like playing big games. I think they're fun, and the crowd's always good there, so it makes it fun.
Yeah, unlike last year where so many people couldn't come anymore, and hopefully we won't lose that. It won't be the end of the season if you lose tomorrow. We're hoping that you don't, but it won't be the end. What is a game like that? What is something that you can learn from?
Just like it helps us. Wait, can you repeat it? Sorry.
Yeah. So, what can you learn from a game like tomorrow night?
It will show us like we haven't really played like besides Old Fort like a really like good team, so it helps us like to show like where we're at and like how good we can be.
Yeah, prepare for the tournament for sure.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you tomorrow night. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Take that back from you there. We'll come back over to Coach Shea here in just a moment. Our final spot here, we're brought to you in part by Vince Ponziani and Associates at Waycraft Industries, Rod Stark and Associates at Pizza Hut and Cyrus Galleon, our host of the show since 1992. And the Burkhardt family at the Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette, New Winchester Road. Back to assistant coach Tyler Shade. And have you guys had this one on the calendar marked for quite a while?
It has been. It's ever since we played them last year, and we were able to come up with a win. But we knew they had everybody back this year, and this is a big one.
Yeah, for sure. Natalie Lance does a great job with her team over there. And you have 12 games now here in this new year, 8 league games, 4 non-league. And boy, you loaded up on the non-league. That's making Sandy tomorrow, Bellevue, maybe not as strong as they've been in past years with the coach's daughters gone, but still a formidable team. Sandusky Perkins and Lexington still on the schedule, and that's done by purpose, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, that's we won 5 straight district titles for a reason. It's a testament to our girls what they do in the summer, and then like you said, what we do on our schedule, and everything that we do has March in mind.
Yeah, Shelby's 11-0 overall, 6-0 in the MOAC. Of course, they're loaded. Olivia Baker, Haley Baker, Sophia Neese. Is it one of those things where you just try to control certain aspects and rather than trying to shut down?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be about containing them. It starts with those 3, but Audie Albert, Denny Hip, they've got a couple girls off the bench, the Booker girl, and they're just a solid team all around. But ultimately, we cannot let those 3 beat us. And we have to play our game.
And then Friday, you have to have a little bit of short memory regardless of what happens because you've got a Winford team that's 6-3 overall, 4-2 in the Northern 10 Conference. You play them at their place, and that closes out the first round of the league schedule. A team, Amy Taylor Shell, she's been there forever. She's kind of made it up in the Northern 10 Conference. They're always a tough team to play, aren't they?
They are, especially going over there on Friday night with Coach Amy. They're always going to be well coached. Avery McMillan, Reese McGuire, the Steve Lee girls lighting it up this year. That's a huge game for us, and we can't, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, we can't come out and have a letdown.
JV's 8-2 overall, 5-1 in the North 10 Conference. You've been happy with them?
We have been, yeah. I'm actually technically the JV coach. Is my title, and we had a really good year so far. We've had a couple that we got off to a slow start. But like you said, 8-2 is kind of a testament to the program and what we've got coming up, and we're excited about those younger girls.
Yeah, very good. Well, thanks so much for coming out. We will have that game tomorrow night on our airwaves on WQEL. If you can't make it over to Shelby, it should be a great tournament-type atmosphere. Enjoy it for whatever it ends up being. Have a lot of fun. Take it all in. And hopefully, you drop 30 or whatever your normal has been and contribute where you need to contribute. But I appreciate you coming out tonight and continued success to you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
You
it.
bet. Hey, take a look at the schedule. As I mentioned, we will have high school girls basketball tomorrow night on WQEL. Tip time at around 7:30. It'll be the Buckheads of Buckeye Central at Shelby. On Wednesday night, I will be in Galleon for Coaches Corner East. It'll be coaches and players from Galleon, Colonel Crawford, and Crestline High Schools. That'll be on the WQEL Facebook page shortly after 7. We also have a boys basketball game that night as Crestline heads to Ridgedale in a non-league game. Tip time at approximately 7:30. Thursday night, it's Ohio State men's basketball. They will be in Bloomington, Indiana to take on the Indiana Hoosiers with coverage beginning at 6:15. And then Friday night, we're back to a normal schedule. High school girls basketball, once again, Buckeye Central at Winford in the Northern 10 Conference matchup. Tip time at approximately 7:30, and I will be hosting the Friday night phone board at approximately 9 p.m. Saturday the 8th, we have a doubleheader of boys action. It'll be Colonel Crawford at Upper Sandusky, really big game on WQEL, and on WBCO it'll be Buckeye Central at Winford. Tip time on both of those approximately 6:30, and then Will Beard will be in for the Saturday night phone board. And then time still determined yet. Ohio State will be hosting the Northwestern Wildcats in men's action Sunday from Columbus, Ohio. Stay tuned for details on that. I want to thank everyone here at our Bucyrus Pizza Hut, especially our manager Crystal, for being our host tonight. Thank you to Danny Lane back in the studio for spinning the dials, my camera operator Cameron Moon, and Harper Boggs for doing all the beautiful things that she does here as well. Thank you to Bucyrus assistant boys basketball coach Brian Hargis and his players, Winford JV basketball coach Nate Smith, and varsity assistant Josh Kroll and their players. And thank you to Buckeye Central assistant girls basketball coach Tyler Shade and his players as well. Thank you to our sponsors, and most of all, you for tuning in on the Facebook Live page. For WQEL Sports, this has been Mike Sparks reminding you, a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Have a good night, everybody.